Today we are going to be reviewing the Cessna glider. This is a little RC airplane that I purchased on Amazon for only $30. Now, for $30, obviously, it's going to be a question of, is this a good quality product? Is it actually going to fly? Is it controllable? Is it a piece of crap? So we're going to try it out and we're going to see, is the $30 RC airplane on Amazon really worth it? So right off the bat, a few things that I've noticed here. It's been a couple years since I've flown any RC airplanes. All the ones that I've flown have had ailerons, elevators, and rudders. This one does not. This one only has two propellers on the back here, and this is the only way that the airplane is controlled. So literally every way that this airplane moves is through these two propellers here. Now they market it as a glider, so effectively what you're supposed to do basically is either throw it and then steer it, or you can use the throttle to get at altitude and then steer it back down. So you might have noticed that there is also a propeller on the front. This does not spin. It is, well, it does spin. It's not a motorized propeller though, so it just stays stationary and it just kind of turns around as the airplane's flying through the sky. I think they could have done without this. I think it just adds a bunch of drag that is unnecessary to such a light plane. But you know what, guys? Let's go fly this thing. Let's see how good or bad it actually is. Okay, so we're about to send it on its maiden flight here. It's been like 5 or 6 years since I've flown an RC plane, so don't judge me too hard if I sink it into the lake over there. Oh wow. Ooh. Wow, this is sketchy. Oh, I guess turning because of the throttle. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. This is a really interesting plane. Huh. Although, I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely wondering how I'm gonna land this. Wow. So we were talking earlier about how this is a 2-channel airplane, so you only have the throttle and steering. So it does everything with the propellers here, which makes it interesting to fly. It's definitely not the easiest thing in the world to fly, but if you're gonna be purchasing this to learn to fly an RC airplane, I would for sure just hand launch it and then throttle up until it just goes all the way up before you do anything. See, and the thing is, you can't steer while you're landing. I think that's why landing it is so hard. Oh! Cool. So we just fully sent it into the tree over there, and this is the damage. Just a little flick. But it looks like it's intact still. So it can definitely withstand crashes okay. Okay, so the key to success on this thing is to take off the prop. Who would have thought, right? Take the propeller off the airplane and it'll fly better. So yeah, I was right. I guess this was adding a lot of drag. And I think the little fake propeller was making it do this, because it wasn't doing this as much. It was just kind of doing this thing, which now that I think about it, maybe it's doing this because now there's no weight on the front. Well, anyway, it flew a lot better without the propeller, so if you're gonna buy one of these things, I would for sure remove the propeller. Just real quick, I did purchase this RC airplane with my own money. They didn't pay me to make this review, and I was not sent this product for free. If this video helps you decide to purchase this RC airplane, using the link down below will help support the channel and allow me to make videos just like this in the future. Okay, so another observation from this flight, this thing flies really, really well with no prop and with zero wind. So this really is a glider. You should be flying this in literally zero wind conditions, and you should definitely be giving yourself some adequate space here to correct for its kind of sloppiness, I guess. Okay, so now that I've figured out all the quirks with this little RC airplane, it is a lot of fun to fly. I just took it up probably 200 feet up or so, and the wind at the higher elevation definitely started to make it do this kind of thing, so I would maybe fly it fairly low. Like I said, altitude is going to be your friend with this one, but I would maybe take it at like 30 or 40 feet at the most. just so you avoid all the turbulent wind right above civilization there. But man, this thing is a lot of fun to fly once you figure it out. All right, so we've made some modifications to the plane since I've last recorded. This thing has been stuck in a tree a million times, so I think that's pretty impressive that it keeps getting blown out of the tree. But with cutting off this propeller here, I wasn't sure if that was messing up the weight distribution, because the plane has a problem with doing this. So I messed around with, well, a couple thumbtacks. I decided to put one right here, and it flies a whole lot smoother like this. Oh. See, it is so much smoother flying with that little thumbtack on there. Way easier to control, so much easier to predict. So much more responsive, it's crazy. Like, I almost forgot how responsive it is. But yeah, that little bit of balance does it really well, apparently. Yeah, I think it's getting a little bit too windy now. It's really getting kind of thrown around a lot there, so see if we can bring her in here. One thing about this plane is it does seem to lose altitude very inefficiently. So it's really hard to bring down if you get it up there too high. As you guys saw, we had a pretty couple nasty crashes. The first time we sent it straight into the tree and it fell all the way from the top of the tree down and hit the cement. And as you can see, it is still in one piece. It isn't even really scratched. I'm very impressed. We also had a few other tumbles that were not nearly as severe as that one. That one was for sure the worst and the one that I expected to obliterate it into a million pieces. But no, it's pretty durable. It is made out of styrofoam, but it's so light that it doesn't really have a lot of momentum behind it to really cause any damage. So as far as beginners go, I would say that this airplane would be perfect as a Christmas gift for a child, or just as like a weekend hobbyist toy or something like that. Maybe you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on an RC airplane. This would be good for that situation.